Everyone, friends. This is OMG Live, the quarantine edition. I am Penelope Spencer. I'm coming to you from beautiful Diego Martin. It's lovely. The weather is nice. Wind blowing slightly. The loveliest this Friday. Nice.
Yay!
Welcome to another dose of love, people. It's Friday and the weekend is upon us. In Trinidad and Tobago, probably Saturday in some other countries by now. Anyway, we enjoy every Friday, max. And it's a long weekend, people. So I know how Trinidad have a long weekend.
Yes.
Well, truly happy to be with you all. Come in, people. Come in. Call a friend, call your neighbor, call your dog, call your enemy, call everybody and tell them, oh, everything life is on.
Richard Young in the house here. I'm in Ragoobarsingh Valley, St. Joseph, Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful in the valley up here. I can literally hear the water of the river running down in the back there. It's a beautiful day. We like to be here and more so to be with my fellow co-hosts. We're hoping that Richard joins us soon. So let our two other co-hosts introduce themselves. Penny?
Well, I said it was my business. Oh, darling.
I cannot wait for this weekend. I plan to do so much. I'm going to the beach, I'm going to the river, I'm going to the mall.
And then they're going to wake up.
And then I'm
Hi, everybody. I'm Cecilia Salazar, and I'm in Petty Valley, where the sun is like extremely hot and the wind is extremely wild. It's too extreme. I told you all the paintings flew off my wall and all. The wind is so wild. So it's a wild, windy day here in Petty Valley. And I'm so glad to be here with you all, coming from Trinidad and Tobago to the rest of the world.
Here at OMG on Facebook. We appreciate each and every one of you who come on and become part of this family. Thanks for being here with us.
And to our lovely fans around the world and the islands throughout the Caribbean, welcome! Thank you for coming back.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Right. OMG Live, the quarantine edition, y'all, for the new people. It's our way to come together, to talk, to laugh, to share, to build a community. So come on, people. We have lots in store today. We linemen, we back talking, we having a time.
We good talking.
Good talk.
Yes, we do. And we're doing a lot of good talking too because it's love we're spreading. We'll be playing the very exciting OMG Gibberish Challenge. You know, let's play that game segment today. If you get it right, you get to ask any one of us on the panel just one question. If you get it right, as Ragoobarsingh here, get it wrong. But we'll also be featuring a brand new music video from Soca star Lyrical called Get to You.
Get to you. Why you?
Yeah, we like him. We like Lyrical.
See some of the people from TikTok just tuning them out, I tell. We also have a trailer from the director of The Dark Knight and Inception called Vaughnette. It's a mind-twisting journey, plus lots of enlightening conversation to get you thinking. So please, people, stay with us. Get your popcorn, lime. OMG Live, the quarantine edition is on.
On right now.
Special shout out to the voice in the sky, Stephen Doobal at Master Control, electrifying. There he is. The busy God himself. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you very much. You're energized now. There we go.
This is also a great time to remind all of you who are viewing us right now to share this live feed on your timeline now. Share us, spread the word on all your friends, all your family. Go Also, go to our fundmetnt.com page and lend your support so we can continue
Yes,
doing the
please.
show daily for
Yes.
you.
Yes,
Like
please.
PBS.
Former media personality turned politician Jason Williams was officially sworn into the Senate of Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday. Williams is now the People's
Oh.
National Movement candidate for Barataria Samoa. He replaces resigned Senator and Public Utilities Minister Robert Lahunt. Well, artist Rembunction has done his part to welcome the Palan Soca star to public life. Here is Parliament by Rembunction. Take a look. Trini's idol.
Yay!
Right here on the Parliament channel. Parliament is where I will go. I get in a parliament in. Coming in through the back door. I get in a parliament in. Jump up, cause you get bump up, but pump up. Go let your ego pump up. Jump up, go get pump and then jump up. The same way you get bump up, you could get thump up. Parliament, through the gate. Parliament, I went straight. Parliament, where I went. Parliament, through the gate. Parliament, I went straight. Parliament, where I went. Parliament. I fed up on the recession. It's high time that the money run. So I leave the radio station. The station. I say Blaze, I done. Time to be a politician. Money sharing and I want some. That's right. Look out for Senator JW. Right here, parliamenting on the Parliament channel.
Love it. Parliament. Remy is really bring them out, you know.
Remy is
So great.
God.
So creative.
Penny,
I tell
Penny,
them-
hold a second. I think, Stephen, is she there?
Yes. We have her on and ready.
Okay, great. We have a little treat for you. We now go to Vanderneil Gardner, coming to us live from Antigua. Vanda?
Oh, great.
Hey, good day, everyone. I am so happy to be a part of such a special initiative. You know, this show really warms the heart. It's also very entertaining, and it is a great vehicle that brings us Caribbean people together.
Vanda, the show
That is really wonderful of her to say.
for all of us, and it's very heartwarming to hear you feel that way. Thank you so much. Loveliness.
Yes,
Vanda,
yes.
introduce yourself and tell us what you do there in Antigua.
My name is Vanderneil Gardner. I live in the beautiful islands of Antigua and Barbuda. You should visit sometime. And I am proud to say that I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a proud Trinbagonian. I left Trinidad when I was 24 years old. Wow, that's been a long time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been that long.
Wow. So you're from Begonia living and working in Antigua. Okay, so Vanda, tell us, how has it been for you there in Antigua?
I moved to Antigua and Barbuda in, I think it was 1994. My life here has been very fulfilling. I am now married. I have two beautiful, amazing sons. I own 3 boutiques here on the island, and I am very much involved in the arts and anything that involves creatives. I work specifically in show production. I have been the chairperson of the Independence Fashion Show for the past 16 years. I also work along with Carnival Queens here. I have a few under my belt. I've produced their show for some years. Richard came up and worked with me on that project. And I have also worked with the JC's show. I train models. I also train beauty queens. And now I have devoted my time into grooming and molding upcoming designers here in Antigua and Barbuda.
Wonderful, Vanda.
And the
Oh yes,
fashion industry.
I usually go up there and work with her. It is a treat working with her. I was
And you
wondering,
never
Vanda,
take
how. Well, if she's the government that sends for me, girl.
Yeah, it's okay.
And we will reach a point where we're going to get more because those kinds of discussions actually have happened because we need to carry more talent to share. Anyway, I was wondering how COVID-19 affected you, Vanda, and what has it done to you personally?
COVID-19 has really impacted us, Here for me in Antigua, it's been a learning experience, It's just about adjusting your life to what people deem as the new normal. Everyone tends to dwell on the negative, but for me, I want to focus more on the positive. It has given us the opportunity to spend more time with our families. It has also given us the time to spend, in self-reflection. It's really brought us together, like our families closer together. And for me personally, I have really, I think, grown and blossomed because I've had a lot of time to really, do a lot of cleansing. As a businesswoman, of course, it has affected my income. But, despite that, I just thank God for life. I thank Him for health. I thank Him for strength. And I thank Him for that gift that we as individuals take for granted, that gift of family. So when I look out in the, in the future, all I see is hope, So I thank God for every day that I'm able to open my eyes.
Vanda, is there anything you feel you have had time to learn about yourself during this quarantine time?
I look at the world and I think that this virus has taught us how vulnerable we are and how important it is for us to love each other and for us to be selfless and just, look out for each other, be each other's keeper.
Yeah. So what concerns you, Vanda, as you and the people of Antigua move forward in this new normal, as they say?
What concerns me most is that, now that all of this has happened and we had to adjust our lives, how, do we move forward? And with the lessons learned, because we would have had to learn lessons, So how do we move forward rebuilding, all these things that we have learned, how do we apply it? How as a Caribbean people we can come together and help rebuild each other and uplift each other. That is what really concerns me, This new normal, how is this new normal going to become the new normal, if you understand what I mean, how it is we're going to move forward like this and how long we're going to have to, do this.
Yeah, boy. Don't know, no?
Wow. Very good. Anyway, it's Vanda, darling, sweetie pie. On behalf of all of us here, I want to thank you for taking time to talk to us today. We would like to continue to hear from you and about the progress in Antigua. Thanks again, and please spread OMG live love in Antigua for us.
Yeah.
And Vanda,
Thank you.
love you.
Vanda.
It's always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much on behalf of all of us here. Talk to you soon, Dudu. Mwah.
Thanks everyone for having me. It was a pleasure. Just keep up the good work. It was great being a part of this. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Vanda. Well, we're moving on now. Beyond during yesterday's episode on OMG Live, we had some VIPs, some very important point of views that were shared with us from our Facebook viewers. Let's, Vaughnette, you'll take the first one as a friend of yours.
Sure. Hi, Cassie. Sandra Pemberton from Port of Spain says, I hope you guys get OMG magazine merchandise for the regulars and to raise funds for the show so it can continue after. Well, yes, Cassie, you'll see we have our fund page that we'll talk about a little more before the show is finished. So thanks for that suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, boy, I can really see some OMG merchandise in there, Olya. All right, so our next very important point of view is from Gelda Thompson, who lives in San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago. And she says, and I was waiting for it, right. And she says, and there are also Trinidadians who are in other Caribbean countries who have also made requests and they are waiting. Yes, Gelda, the list is long of Trinis out there waiting.
I just heard that they're bringing back the 340 something Trinis though from the cruise ship. So that's good.
That's wonderful news. Yes, great.
Yeah. And this is from my cousin Roma Asqua Spencer, lives in Toronto. Akuswa lives in Toronto, Ontario. Trinidad and Tobago is the first country I live culturally diversity. So that moving to Canada and hearing the phrase here, I was like, but TNT doing cultural diversity long time.
Yeah, you're right here. She's talking about how we are so culturally different and we accept it, but in Canada they put a big name to it. Ew, it's cultural diversity.
Exactly, it's true.
Are we doing that long time?
What are some of our
people? We have plenty people.
Plenty people
come
come
shout. Rich, give the shout outs and I'll read comments after.
Okay,
you have a guest. You have an additional guest.
All right, guys.
A little late.
So Rachel Young is there, Median Mahon, Shalana Carter. Shelford said he's called looking in from Chicago. He says hello to Vanda, Mary Millett, Raphael Bernadine, Kimo Thomas, Franklin Jack Deo, Sean Edwards, Dominic LaRoche also sent his love to Vanda, Opal Boirel, Leslie Pear, Wesley Gibbings, Cassandra Pemberton is there, Sabrina Celestin, Carol Prince Mandela, Loretta John, Simon Donnellan, Carleen Williams, Nikki Pollinaire, Henry, list goes on, and the Cambridge Belfast is on. The dancers Ian and Dion. Ian and Dion, we are on today. Hi, Ian and Dion. Karen Fields, who's a full of figure model of mine in New York. June Pay is on, and a host of others. So, yeah, say some expressions from the guests.
Yes, Vanda Neal is saying, Olia is a soul girl to us, so Penny and Vaughnette, special shout out. Dominic LaRoche said, Vanda is as gracious as always, tender in spirit and timeless in beauty. Ooh, Dominic, that's beautiful. Carleen Williams says, nice to see you, Vanda. Shalana Carter says, hello, my lovely peeps, you always make my day. Joan Pear says, if all goes well for the next Carry Festa, which is in Antigua, she hopes to meet Vanda. She says, I hope to meet you. She's talking specifically to Vanda there. So yeah, those are some of the comments we have. I think we could move on.
Oh,
Yes,
it says
thank
Cecilia,
you.
Yes.
Cecilia, I love your hair. Cecilia, I love your hair. Your look is on point. Cook Cambridge Selfresh.
Thank you, Kirk. Thank you. That means
Yeah.
a
Maybe
lot because I struggle with it
maybe
every
he'll
day.
send a mask. Maybe he'll send a mask for you.
All
So
right.
by the time you
Instead of what?
A mask.
mask,
Instead of what?
he did too
A
much
mask.
last time you
I'm not.
yes. Not any mask, you know. It was a fashion designer's mask.
Designer mask.
Yeah.
It was a fair mask.
All right.
It's a serious business.
Yeah,
Going?
everyone, it's time for OMG Live COVID-19 update.
First, let's take a look at the latest World Health Organization figures.
Today, the worldwide COVID-19 infection is at 5,251,138 infected persons and counting. Cheese and ages. The death toll, 336,432 souls in the world have died because of COVID-19. The recovery now is over 2,119,896 persons who have recovered.
In Trinidad and Tobago, the latest recovered person has left treatment, and we are today yes, the last person left today. So, yay!
Wow, that's great news.
We are today 116 COVID-19 cases. 8 Trinidadians have lost their lives, and 108 have recovered. We all feel extremely grateful and blessed about this situation, and would like to thank again the authorities, the doctors, the nurses, the frontline, backline, and middle line workers who continue to do what's necessary. Thank you. I thought it was all right, no?
What was that?
The ceiling fan.
There was a crash, certainly. You know that plane crash there? We will talk about that in town, friendly.
I was
Anyway.
meddling with what I should not have meddled.
Okay.
Yeah,
In keeping with what Penny just talked about with all of the frontline workers, and here's now a report from MSNBC and Columbia University professor saying that catching the spread of corona early is the most important step in making sure death toll is low.
You put a little more meat on the bones of that basic idea. I feel like it makes sense just when I think about it qualitatively, that getting it early is better, and that if you get it early, it doesn't grow as large. What I was shocked by in your model is the quantitative difference, that just 1 week, just a few days would make such a huge difference in the number of people who ultimately died over a couple of months. Can you explain just in layman's terms why the numbers are so dramatically affected by even a few days difference in response time?
Well, it is very staggering, and I think it's important to actually quantify it so that you see just how strong that response is. When you're dealing with the growth of a virus in a fully susceptible population, it's going through a doubling process. It's growing exponentially, and it's very important to remember that doubling processes really can sneak up at you. They seem to start very small and insignificant and not be of much consequence, but they really can swell and overwhelm you, kind of like a tsunami wave. There are many examples that you'll hear in mathematics where they'll try to explain it very simply. One of my favorite is this idea that you have a pond and there's this invasive lily flower that gets into it. And every day it doubles in size, or doubles the number that are there. And by, let's say, day 30, the entire pond is covered with lilies. And then the question is, well, on what day was it halfway covered with lilies? And the answer is day 29, just the day before, because it is a doubling process. By jumping on this virus earlier, you are really going to circumvent that growth. You're going to squash that growth down, and you're going to prohibit the number of people who are going to subsequently be infected by taking early action. It's a very strange and horrifying compounding process that this goes through, by which when it's spreading through a community. And as a consequence, it's really vital that we reach out and we monitor what's going on in our communities actively. We can't get complacent with this. There is a risk of that, particularly as we're moving into summer, particularly because the virus may be seasonal and less transmissible during summer, that we're going to get complacent and feel like we have this thing under control. But we have to get in this for the long haul and understand we want to keep this virus squashed. We want to really reduce the levels to low number of cases per day going forward while we hold on until we can get a vaccine that's effective or effective therapeutics.
Dr. Jeffrey Shaman, professor at Columbia University School of Public Health, thank you for being here tonight.
Wow.
I love Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too. I love
yes.
her. She's so good.
I love Rachel
Fantastic.
Maddow. She's wonderful.
Me
Could you
too.
imagine that a couple of days, if they had closed their borders a couple of days before, they would have saved about 30-something thousand lives?
Lives, yeah.
Yep, that's incredible.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And that's why it's playing out the way it is, and that's why it's playing out the same way in Brazil.
Brazil,
Because Brazil they're just not,
and Mexico.
if you don't have a leader that takes control of the situation, then you defer that leadership to mayors and governors and who try their best to, handle the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
So what about Trinidad? Trinidad not having any more cases. What about that? How you feel about that? I mean, have we solved it? Are we the only country in the world? What is going on?
I think that has to do with the borders
being
closed. It has to do with the borders being closed for sure. So we are containing it within. We are working inside, and we did an early closing. And in fact, the Caribbean is being seen as having done something really wonderful because it's less than 1,000 in all of the English-speaking Caribbean, and therefore we are showing the world that we can take charge, as Richard said, with the leadership taking charge, closing down, locking down airports, and dealing with the infrastructure we have available. Because our infrastructure can't take a swoop, our infrastructure can't take a swoop. What's going on there? So we're doing our best. Great. So let's see more people. More so. Well, I have a lot more people. We have a lot joining in today. I find Greer Cave is on.
Friday.
Damien Edwin, Alison McLeod. We have a former model man called Taliba. I haven't seen her in ages. She's under Laddie, a strange name on Facebook, but her name is Taliba. Erla Williams, Christine Jack, Nydia Byron, Celestine Joseph, Erla Williams. Our regulars are back and loving us and sending good wishes and so. So any special?
Hi Amanda. I want to say hi to Amanda and Damien Edwin. Hi guys. That's my cousin. So
they are our almost diamond.
Yes.
Time.
Yep.
Any comments, Vaughnette?
I don't know why I'm not seeing as many comments as you. I'm not seeing as many people and I'm not seeing as many comments, but I'm seeing Raphael Bernardine saying, as the old folks used to say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Carol Prince Mandela says, Trinidad locked down early, so we did great so far because we locked down early. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody. Hi, Richard, darling. I don't know who's the Richard she's calling darling. Yes, she will have to clarify. Richard,
both of we just take it. And thank you. Both of you taking the love up. We taking the love up.
Both of them.
Both of you. Both of them.
Still take it.
My lovely Asia Minor, she's always looking. I keep forgetting, and she stares on that screen looking at us and saying, "Tell all of the people on the show I love them." It's an adorable child. Our viewers, Patricia. Hello, Asia. I call her Asia Minor because she's small and her name is Asia, so I call her Asia Minor.
Okay, Asia Minor, we are moving along, girl. We're moving along. That's what we have to do. We gotta keep things moving. We're moving, heading over to Meanwhile at TikTok.
Many people from around the world love Mariah Carey. Many people.
We love her.
Me and Penny love
Many.
you too. Me and Penny, like Penny was there
love
just to say she love Mariah. Okay, Penny, I love you too. Right? Many people love Mariah Carey from around the world. We love she too. Well, this young man is just not having it. Here is Prince the Fair Act on TikTok. Run the clip.
I don't get it. How you quiver your lip like that? Vaughnette, you can do that. You gotta do that lip quiver.
No, that was I don't understand the hit and roll. Do not like
Vaughnette, don't pull like that.
Nada, I didn't hear that.
I am not one for physical violence. You know when you get that feeling that something in the universe not feeling right, you know that way? Well, what about if you and your people get that feeling at the same time and you have superpowers to take action? Here is Perry YG on TikTok. Take a look.
You feel that?
I feel that. Something ain't right.
Something a blood clot right.
Something ain't right.
Penelope.
Girl, I see them.
No. Where were you?
I had to go. I see them. Miko and Prince. We gotta go. Bitch, carry me.
I don't know. That was like a mini movie of sorts. I don't know what, but somebody got a problem with continuity. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of continuity issues. Here was changed.
Oh my God.
A lot of continuity. Let's move to the next one. So this Mr. So this Mr. looks across at you and says, "You're looking really pretty." I think this is Cecilia. He's telling this. So you graciously reply, "Thank you," and then he proceeds to ask you your name. There was Bonald88 on TikTok. Take a look.
Real pretty. Thank you. What's your name? My name is Beyonce. Beyonce? Mr. One, let me see you run. Yes, that's me. That's you. That's me.
I'm telling you.
Anyway, people, that was
if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Let's jump in our next segment where we discuss what's trending today. Wow.
Before we get into today's trending topics, I want to remind our online audience, you too can send us your thoughts. Just email your videos, your clips, your voice notes to info@omgtt.com with your name and your contact information. Public service announcement.
Right. So what is trending? What's trending? What's trending, people? I don't know. I saw that there was a fiery protest in Moruga, where they put Gypsy Winston Peters run for the PNM. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Peters. He's like, go wherever they call him to represent. Well, apparently the people of Marak and Moruga was not happy with Peters. They won back the Lavelle. Is Lavelle's?
Yeah, Lavelle, yeah.
Dr. Lavelle Francis.
Dr. Lavelle.
6 people had a protest. So what's going on with that?
No vote.
Well, I don't know. You know, sometimes constituents get upset by the screening process, and those kind of things happen sometimes. But ultimately, you know, party members fall in line, I believe, because I'm not a party member of anybody, but I assume they fall in line eventually when the actual election takes place. I think that's how parties think about it. So I don't know how seriously they treat those kinds of protests by people concerning a selected candidate in the screening process. I don't know how much value that carries in persuading the screening committee.
Serious?
I saw something that I wanted to mention yesterday. You know, you all saw where the people in the prisons were having some kind of protest and rallying to get support because they think that they're going after the Minister of Health and thinking that they're not protected inside of there because if one COVID case go, they have 6 to 8 people in a cell and that kind of thing, and it's going to be run rampant inside of there.
I saw that they're looking at filing some legal action, but I don't know how far it's gone. They're not protected at all. I mean, what is also still trending, of course, is the gas deal. This gas deal that has happened with Venezuela, where the ship, the Aldan, left Trinidad and Tobago to go to St. Eustatius first, but then the bill of lading, they say, was changed and it was on its way to Aruba. It never reached there. And this is still an ongoing conversation because now Aruba says, we didn't order no gas. The gas never came by us. Don't look by us. Our gas plant not working since 2011. So I just find the whole thing so suspect because our Minister of Energy also said that once the gas land in Aruba, then we're not responsible for it. But if it never landed in Aruba, who responsible for it?
That story just keeps twisting and turning.
Yeah,
so you're kind of you're just kind of waiting for it to settle to some degree, to some level that's close to whatever the truth is, and to decide how the country moves on from it. But it's still certainly a trending topic, and certainly every single daily newspaper today in Trinidad and Tobago, that was the front story. With regard to Minister Stuart Young, who of course is under a lot of pressure these days. When the media is scrutinizing you to that degree, you must personally, I always wonder how that feels personally, and personally it must affect you. It must affect you. It must be a certain level of pressure that's upon you in terms of the kind of scrutiny that you're getting. Even if you think you're telling the truth, and people saying, well, we don't think you are, it's pressure. But
something trending in terms of the price. You heard that the taxis, I think from the San Fernando to Port of Spain taxi drivers wanted to raise their fare. And I saw that was in the news a lot because people are saying that now is not necessarily the time to raise taxi fares, and the taxi drivers are saying that they are at a disadvantage because they already they can't have their cars driving at full capacity, and so that is also trending because people think that now is not necessarily the time for an increase in the fare.
Nobody's going to have anything at full capacity anymore. Nobody's going to have anything at full capacity. The restaurants,
exactly.
Nothing is going to be at full capacity. And people don't have money.
They're lucky they're working a little bit.
But
they're planning to raise it apparently from $17 to $22. So when I heard that this morning, I was like, first of all, I was like, is it $17 to come from San Fernando to Port of Spain on a taxi? That was my first one. So I thought this $17 was plenty.
I do understand.
Yeah.
I understand the taxi driver's position too early because I mean this is how they make their living, and they really have not been making money because most people have not been. People have, if you're non-essential, you would not have been on the road, so you would not have been traveling. So I understand their position because they have families and stuff as well. But even if you're thinking of the fare hike, I'm thinking a fare hike of $5 in this time, really, not 17 to 19, but 17 to 22. I don't know. I am feeling that so much. So I have to kind of wait it and see.
Yeah, and that's when the government does. But aren't they getting a grant of $2,000 each? They're getting a grant, a special grant for taxi drivers of $2,000 each. They're getting that.
I heard a driver was saying that Rowley said that with immediate effect they're getting the $2,000. They're still waiting. They're still waiting. Huh?
I want to know. Yes.
The salary grant continues to be an issue, and that was done how many? Like a month ago. And they're saying rent assessment. They're saying what? In the newspapers today, they said the rent assessment issue. It was 900 applicants because obviously plenty of people say, nah, that bogus. We're already going at that. And so of the 900 people who say, you know what, I'm still taking rent assessment. I'm still taking off rent assistance. Let me see what happened. Because about the 50,000 people who wanted rent assistance, they say, nah, that ain't gonna happen. So let me waste my tick. 900 people say, nah, taking. And they take.
I take it. I didn't get no.
They decided apparently that they're going to visit, I assume, 900 people to make sure it's not fraud. And that's my problem. And that's what I said from the start. Because I know how policymakers and bureaucrats think. If you are doing something for citizens in a crisis, way on the side of making it easier for people to get grants rather than saying, I want to prevent fraud. I want to prevent John X from getting $2,500. Because if John X gets $2,500 via fraudulent means, the whole government is going to collapse.
Richard, you know what it is? You know what it is? Do so like so. That's how they think, and that's why they think everybody thinks like them. Sorry to get me heated, but I really agree with you. Why think everybody's trying to trick you? Everybody out there is trying to get a little mega $1,500 a month. Oh, my Lord.
Amazing. Anyway, are people on social media saying anything about either of our trending topics, y'all? Are our social media fans have anything to say before we move on?
Alison McLeod is talking about the fare. She said it's ridiculously high, but they are also only allowed to carry a certain amount of passengers. But she thinks that the hike is too much. Yeah. Nydia says, but it's only South drivers do that bullshit. If a pin fall, they hike up their price. If rain fall, they raise. If sun too hot, they raise. Nydia, what is your problem with South drivers? Franklin says, what I think the government should put in place is a maxi or bus. What I think the government should put a maxi or bus in place of the taxis and see what it's like. But this is temporary for everyone. Christine Jack says people are still waiting on salary grants. So we know that. Damian Edwin is asking how is the justification for coming up with the price increase? I don't know. Yeah.
And you know what? Even when the taxis get full capacity, you think they're going to put down that $22? You think they're going back to the 17? No. I think it's wrong. Anyway, we're moving on. Let's be going to play that game.
Let's play that game.
Now, this is for all the lovely people online who have joined us today, chatting with us, participating. We really appreciate your company, people. So get ready. This one is for you.
Yes.
This one, we have OMG Gibberish Challenge. I don't play this game at all. That language, I'm English and nothing else.
A woman
Gibberish Challenge. Gibberish challenge.
10 seconds to guess. I know, eh? You have 10 seconds to guess what is the English words from this gibberish sentence. 10 seconds, people. If you get the answer right, you get to ask any one of us on the panel one question. No one question with 2 parts. No reporters here. If you don't, you will learn something today. If not, you lose. Right? You lose. So are we ready, Mr.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Run the first step. Run the first step.
You're learning gibberish.
Wapa tapa yupu dupu pepeng depe sapa tepe depe. That's easy. That's easy. Come on. Somebody must have gotten that already.
That's easy.
Camille says, what you doing this weekend, nice waiters?
No.
No, Camila. No, Camille.
No.
What dip you serving at the party later?
No.
We're cooking in the pot.
Yeah, what pot are you cooking there?
Saturday.
I think Saturday, that's it. What are you doing this Saturday? Who got it, Richard? Colleen Williams.
Second clip. Colleen, think of a question, sweetie.
That one way too long. I'm not even gonna try.
I'm sorry, I missed that one. I missed it. I started to try to get it,
on your glasses.
Should we go again?
You put on your glasses.
I saw it, woman with the high top.
It was kind of long. Let me go again.
Yeah, do it again. I got some of it, but I'm not sure what that one is. If somebody's speaking it, it's easier than if somebody is, when you're reading it, it's a little bit more difficult. Yeah.
Well, say it first now, Richard. Say it first now, Richard.
I can't remember what it is. It was what? Bapa Mipi. I can't remember.
I saw some of the words. It's at topo.
Yeah.
I put it there for your young, so you could see it.
Topo.
Or young. Topo, sorry, not topo. Not topo.
Tupu. Tupu. Tupu.
So I got topo. It could be topo.
I don't know. I don't Damian Edwin said I said Miano.
Good, thank you, Damian. You obviously didn't speak.
Anybody got it yet?
Richard.
No.
It's a little difficult.
Let's give away that one then.
Yeah.
What is that?
So
the
hard.
answer is
that Mr. looking too good to be true.
I should have known that. That's what people say every time I pass by.
Yeah.
That Mr. looking good, too good to be true.
No, it's the children I'm dealing with. Right.
Celeste something is too good to be true. That's the closest we had. Sabrina Celeste had something is too
good. We give shield.
We will give it to her.
Bree Celeste.
Who got it, Richard?
Bree Celeste. That was the closest.
Bree Celeste.
Okay.
So let me ask that question.
So while those people think of their questions,
Topo de.
That one is hard
Tupu
too.
despe epe gupu. Tupu despe epe gupu.
Stephen, come out first this evening, Ola. That one is a little difficult. That's difficult.
Post-COVID gibberish classes. That was long.
That one is difficult too. It's anytime they're long, they get a little bit difficult.
Topo
It's like Scrabble.
Gopo epeng tupu BP epe gripe pepe depe.
One more time.
Thanks for clearing that up, Richard Young.
One
Now we're even more confused. Now we're even more confused.
Colony, and today is going to be a good day. Today is going to be a great day.
All right.
And Bree Celestin was seconds off. They almost landed together.
Wow,
So Bree like
So
she
who
was
So who are the three people?
So it's Carly
Bree
Williams,
Celestin, Bree Celestin, and Nikki Pollinaire.
So those people, while they are thinking of their questions, we're going to move on to OMG Live on your screen.
In today's trailer, we feature Tenet. This one you have to see if you loved Inception and The Dark Knight. Hold on to your feet for this new mind-bending ride. Take a look.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
I'm not saying Armageddon here.
No. Something worse.
I gather you have an interest in a certain Russian national.
Why don't you bring me in?
You really want to know? He can communicate with the future.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa. Well, I've seen too much. Well, we'll try and keep up.
Your duty transcends national interests. This is about survival.
Seems bold.
Bold, I'm fine with. I thought you were going to say nuts.
This is where our worlds collide.
How would you like to die?
Old.
You chose the wrong profession.
Well, that happened here.
Hasn't happened yet.
There are people in the future who need us. Who need Tenet.
We need to save them here and now.
This reversing the flow of time. Doesn't us being here now mean it never happened? You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. No, it's so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.
Ooh, my God, that's Denzel Washington's son. That's Denzel Washington's son.
So we have a club. Anybody have any questions yet? Any questions, Richard or Vaughnette? Because we have a
penny.
Shikoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the question?
Carly Williams.
Yeah. She asked Richard Young if he hadn't gone into fashion and production design, what other career path he would have taken.
Let's hear the quick answer, Richard.
In 5 words or less.
I would have loved to have been on the stage with my fellow actors. As you said.
Darling, it's not too late.
Anything else? Any other
Absolutely not too late.
Nikki Colony Henry asked Richard Young as well. She says she would really love to see a reunion of the original Mannequins, and if it's something that he would welcome.
We thought about it. We tried to do it, but it wasn't well managed or marketed last time. And probably in 2021, if COVID is allowing us to gather, there are hundreds of people, and in fact thousands throughout the region, because we had seven subsidiaries and we had hundreds of people in Trinidad. Yeah, I would want to do it. I'd want to do it, and
walk like a man.
Let's just talk and talk. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. That's it. Any other question?
And Bree Celestin asked anyone on the panel. She's just asking if anyone is doing anything special for this Eid weekend. I know I'm not. So I'm not.
Not a thing.
They blow a pool in the yard.
I hope I get a piece of roti.
No plans yet.
Anyway, people, that's it. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much for coming in. Right? We thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your words of inspiration.
We love you. We love you.
Yes, we love you.
If your Facebook Live edition of today's show is glitchy because of regular internet speed, you can watch a smooth version on YouTube. Just go to OMG TVTT. We will upload it shortly. Join us Monday. We on this Monday, y'all. Eid or not, we here. Join us Monday from till Friday at 2 o'clock. Right here on OMG TT on Facebook.
So let me say bye-bye. Let's say bye-bye. The time has been...
Bye. Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Absolutely. Bye, people. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
See you on Monday.
Have a great long weekend. Today we leave you with a brand new music from Soca Star Lyrical. It's called Ghetto Youth. Thanks again, everyone, for being here with us. And as we always say at OMG Vaughnette,
let's
be
kind
to each
other. TNT.
TNT, be kind, be kind, be kind.
TNT, be kind.
Let's be kind to each other all over the world.
All over
the world, all up the Caribbean, everywhere. Let's be kind to each other.
Happy weekend, people.
Yes.
Never had many drinks, passport never had many rings. Till them, every ghetto youth are rich. Every ghetto youth are rich. Till them, me make me money but me heart is rich. So me don't care who's up on this. Till them are rich. Every ghetto youth are rich. Every ghetto youth are rich. Till them, me make me money but me heart not switch. So me don't care who's up on this. See they never know the history. Coming from Belmont to Brooklyn, from Piaco straight to Kennedy, when Staten Island link up with danger. But on my journey me run into danger. Bullet hit me body, all me send me to the maker. Transition the skill from me reggae to the soca. Word from me mother, I will always remember to make it in a life. You have to pray and work harder. Tell them this. Every ghetto youth are rich. Every ghetto youth are rich. Tell them me make me money but me heart not switch. So me don't care who's up on this. Tell them this. Every ghetto youth are rich. Every ghetto youth are rich. Tell them me make me money but me heart not switch. So me don't care who's up on this. Don't get something. You don't care who's up on this.